Hello, Teacher Tech. First, let me apologize for the shirt I'm wearing. I know it's going to look a little crazy as I move, just because of the webcam. So I apologize. I just want to get some content posted, so I'm not going to fuss over the shirt. So just try to ignore the fact that I look like I'm in a bad green screen movie. What I wanted to talk about today is TedEd, and TedEd is a great solution for you to be able to deliver content to learners in an open access way that they can access at any time, and you can just post a link to the lesson on your VLE, and students just click on that and they come into a fully contained lesson that you can build around any YouTube video, around any lesson that already exists on TedEd, which you can take and you can change the questions, or any TED Talk that you've seen. So if you've seen a really good TED Talk, you can build a TED Ed video around that as well. So let me just walk you through the website in general and what some of your options are to find a lesson that already exists or build one from scratch. So if we first start with discover, we can discover a lesson, and that's going to open up just a basic search for me where I can look for any lessons that already exist. Now there's going to be a lot more content there for those of you teaching academic subjects. So if we look, for example, at business or sciences, there will be a lot of content for that. So the business logic of sustainability or the real origin of the franchise. So I can just click into any of these lessons and it will show you what a lesson looks like. So what I've got here is I've got my content, my delivery content, and then I've got a think section, which has some multiple choice questions, and a dig deeper, which is sort of the extension activities. But with any lesson that's here, I can already use what's already built, or I can do what's called flipping a lesson. And that allows me to take the content and make it mine, essentially. So I can build any lesson around content that's already there. So this is a lesson already there, the real origin of the franchise. So if I click on create lesson and just search for that, the real origin of the franchise. So there it is. So that's the video that already exists. And I can continue, and I can then build a lesson straight around that. So what I've got essentially is the way TedEd is built, that I have 5 default sections that I can use. So I've got this Let's Begin, which is sort of the introduction or starter. What's the lesson going to be about? What are the objectives for the lesson? All of those sorts of things. And I can just click on Add. And add that, and then I can click on the think, which is where I can now add all kinds of questions. And one of the things I like about TedEd is I'm not just limited to multiple choice questions or true-false questions. I can get to higher order thinking as well by asking open-answered questions. And then you as a teacher, you can go in and self-mark those, and you can give students feedback on their open-answer questions. So I can ask a lot of higher order thinking stuff as well. So that's the think section. We'll just add a test question here just so you can see what it looks like. And I can tell it then just which one is the correct answer. I can remove choices, so I don't want a C option, I don't want a D option for now. And I can add, and this is one of the things I like, I can add a hint in the video. So actually, if you're stuck on this question, go look at 1 minute and 30 seconds into the video and you will find the answer. So that's a really nice little support or additional support that I can offer within the assessment part of this. Then I've got the dig deeper, which is essentially the extension activity. So here I can post links to other websites, I can post images, I can post kind of think about it questions, I can post homework questions in here, for the next lesson, go do this, or go and submit this on Moodle, whatever I want. So here's the extension work that I can give a group. I also have a discussion that I can do. So within this, I can ask a question. So what do you think about the idea of the franchise in business? What are two good things and one bad thing? And now I want everybody to contribute to that discussion. So now we have a discussion in there with a prompt. And the "and finally" section, the fifth section, is essentially your plenary. How are you wrapping it up? What are your closing thoughts? Once that's done, that's my lesson built. Literally 5 minutes. Once I have content that's already there, I can just go and publish that lesson. I can require students to use TedEd accounts. Now, I would suggest you do that because then any work they do, you can track. So you know who's done it and tracked in. And students can create a TedEd account by using their pre-existing Facebook logins or Google. So it's really easy for them to do. It also means that if they've created an account, they'll have easy access to any lesson that you've posted. So it becomes an easier way to do it. So I'm going to require students to log in. And I'm going to go ahead and share that lesson. I can share it via email. I can copy this link and post it onto Moodle. So I can enter their email addresses here, or I can just send them a link. I can even tweet it out. Okay, so you can it makes it really easy to share this content out to a group. Okay, so for now, I'm just going to go ahead and click on See Lesson. So I can show you, here's my lesson that I built just there. So this is what students will see when they look at a lesson. So all of those sections. And once they click in a section, they don't lose the video. They can still play the video from here. They click on Think. Video comes over here, and here's their question. They click on Dig Deeper. They click on Discover and just work their way through. So they can start a discussion straight from here and add comments. Okay, I'm just going to come back and show you as well how you can do this from any other YouTube video. So if you teach a vocational subject, there may not be content already on TedEd for you or for you to use. So what you might want to do is look at YouTube. So if I use electrical, for example, because I know they've got a brilliant YouTube channel. So here's Gary Hayers, who's a electrical tutor, and he's got an absolutely amazing YouTube channel. So if I just click on a video on his YouTube channel, I can preview the video here, click continue, and boom, I'm in and building my lesson in the same way that I just did before. So that's really easy to do. Once I know I have a good video to use, I can build a lesson around that. Which means that even if you're recording a PowerPoint or you have recorded one of your own lessons, you can upload it to a YouTube channel and build the lesson around it here on TedEd. So you can even link to your own video content, which I have done and is really useful. So if there isn't something around the content that you already teach here, don't forget to look just in case there is, because look at how much is here. We've got design, engineering, technology. There's so much content already out there that you might be able to use, and try to save yourself some time. Now, within any of those lessons, let's say I do find a good video, you also have this button to customize the lesson, which means that they've only used 4 sections here. They haven't used the Dig Deeper. They haven't used the And Finally section. Maybe I want to do that. So I can just click Customize, and that becomes my own lesson. It becomes part of my repertoire of lessons, and I can change these questions. I can add more. I can add the sections that they didn't use. So you can see And Finally is down here. What's the other section they didn't use? So we've got the Dig Deeper. I can add more questions, as I said. And yeah, they do have the discussion section. So there is quite a bit already there, and I can go ahead and just flip that lesson and make it my own. So start by looking at the content that already exists. Then if you don't find it, look at what's on YouTube and you can build a lesson around it. If you still don't find anything on YouTube, we still have a solution, because you can record your own lesson, upload it to YouTube, and then build this full lesson around it. TedEd makes it really easy to track by requiring students to log in. You don't have to. I just think it's a good idea, because then you know who has attended the lesson. So TedEd is a great resource. If you have any questions about it, feel free to send me an email and let me know. But for now, I hope you found this useful, and we'll talk soon.